Hey everyone, DSDghost here, back with another build video for you. This one's different. This one is going to be your 1.7 build video. This is going to be the best build that I saw for PvE, and the reason why I am allowing it to be a 1.7 build is because I'm playing the 1.7 PTS, and I'm using only gear that will be available once 1.7 is released. So, everyone on the PTS is using classified gear, ninja bike, stuff like that. I'm showing you what you're going to need in order to farm for those classified gear sets. So I will show you the build. I will show you some PvE clips at the very end of this build. And then at the end of the video, I will have a link to a solo challenging mission that I did so that you can see the build in action. You can see me actually complete a global event solo with this build, and you'll see me PvE with this build. So let's get right into it. Obviously, remember this is the PTS, so nothing is rolled correctly. I'll tell you what is rolled correctly, what changes I would make. But once 1.7 drops, this is what you're gonna want to go for. Obviously, it's a ninja bike backpack. It's 4 Sentry, 3 Hunter's Faith. Because of the ninja bike backpack, I have 3 Sentry, 2 Hunter's Faith, which makes it 4 and 3. We'll go over the gear, and then we'll go over my weapons. So the gear is 3 Sentry, 2 Hunter's Faith, and a ninja bike. So you can mix and match. Right now I use a Sentry Skull chest piece. It's 1917 armor with 1788 firearms and health on kill, and ammo capacity. Now, what would I make different on here? Nothing. Maybe you can get rid of health on kill for skill haste, but because you're running solo, having that extra health on kill is pretty good. So this is not bad. I'd leave it as is. I have 2 firearms mods on here. Both of them rolled skill haste. So firearms with skill haste and health on kill, and ammo capacity. Now obviously I'd re-roll the firearms to get that higher, but that's what I got. My mask is a Sentry Call mask, 979 armor, 1498 firearms. Obviously I have a firearms mod with skill haste on it. This one does crit chance and damage to elites. Nothing I would change here because you want to try and hit some crits, so you want your crit chance to be pretty good. You want your damage to elites to be good because remember this is a PvE build, so you want crit chance, you want that damage to elites. Then on my knee pads I have firearms mod on here, obviously. So it's firearms and skill haste and a first aid self heal. It's 1577 armor, rolled firearms with health, damage to elites, blind and deaf, disrupt. What I would change here is keep the damage to elites. Remember, it's PvE. I would change it to shock, and I will keep blind and deaf and change disrupt to burn. That way, you know, because enemies do throw blind and deaf grenades and EMP, well, not EMP, but smoke grenades, stuff like that. And then obviously you'll be facing cleaners, so you want burn. So that's what I have on my knee pads. My backpack, obviously it's not rolled properly. 1199 armor, so pretty low armor. Firearms is very low. Then I have health and disrupt resistance with a stamina mod and 2 first aid self heals. So obviously I would roll higher firearms on the backpack, and hopefully when I farm get a better ninja bike with better armor. Hunter's Faith gloves with assault rifle damage, skill haste, and crit chance, rolled firearms, and 982 armor. Now the only thing I would maybe change here is to get rid of the assault rifle damage for a marksman rifle damage, but other than that, pretty good. And then my holster, obviously I would roll higher firearms, but 1000 armor and skill haste. Can't beat this holster. I would just roll the firearms to be higher. And then the mod on here is first aid self heal. So that's what I'm currently running for my gear. My weapons, I'm using a custom M44, which does 172% headshot damage and 142k damage. I would like to use a classic M44 because that does higher headshot damage and higher weapon damage, but you want to aim for whatever sniper has the highest headshot damage and highest damage, which right now is my custom M44. Deadly Brutal Prepared, obviously cannot roll that. I would most likely change it to Competent instead of Deadly, but other than that, I like it. You could also put Destructive on here, maybe Destructive Brutal Prepared or Competent Brutal Prepared. That's what I put on there. For my mods on here, I'm using obviously magazine size, crit chance, rate of fire, everything you want on your gear for your mod, or everything you want on your mods is headshot damage. So obviously you can't get really anything different in the PTS, but all of my weapon attachments you want to have headshot damage, or try to have headshot damage, crit chance, and crit damage on, or crit, yeah. So magazine size, crit chance, and rate of fire, headshot damage, crit chance, crit damage, pretty nice scope there. Headshot damage, accuracy, optimal range, reduced threat on my scope or my muzzle. And then my underbarrel is accuracy, stability, and optimal range. That's what I had. I'd put stability on there with headshot damage or stuff like that. Maybe even reload speed. My police M4 doing 22k damage, 18% enemy armor damage, so pretty low enemy armor damage there. You could be in the 20-21% range. Competent, responsive, and vicious. Obviously, these are not the roles I'd want. I'd put brutal, responsive, and destructive on it. The reason why is brutal for the headshot, because you're going to be aiming for the head since you're doing global events and PvE. You want to aim for the head. Responsive, because you're going to be up close. Just in case, this is for your up close. Snipers for far. You know, your assault rifles for close. That's why I have responsive. And then destructive for the enemy armor damage. I was playing with an SASG, but because you're doing a global event and the contamination from it, the SASG wasn't proving good. Obviously, you want to use an SASG or a shotgun for the buildup of your Sentry, but you also have that headshot damage, so using an assault rifle and aiming for the head still does marvelous things. My weapon attachments on my M44, mag size, crit chance, rate of fire, crit damage, headshot damage, and crit chance. Crit damage, crit chance, headshot damage, and then stability, accuracy, and optimal range. You want stability on this because you want to try and aim for the head. The best way I saw that was putting stability on here. Again, you want to try and aim for headshot damage as much as possible, and keep things centered around crit damage as well, because you're going to not have, you want to have a pretty decent crit chance on this build as well. When you go and look at everything in depth, you have 14% chance, not the best. 44% crit damage, also not the best. But then when you look at your headshot damage, you got 241%. So I don't know why I did that accent, but 241% headshot damage. That's where all of your damage is coming from. You want to hit the head, period. Skill haste on here for those heals to come back quicker. Health on kills 5%, obviously. Damage to elites 28%. And then you have your skill haste at 30%. Obviously, you put some more skill haste on your chest, you're going to have about 37%, which is pretty much max. 37 to 40% is max with any build other than Tactician. So skill haste is pretty good. Continually healing yourself. Great for when you're doing solo PvE. Health on kill, you can also get health on kill on your gear again, but you also want to try and spec into crit chance so you hit some crits. Now, as far as my skills and talents go, I'm using an overdose because you don't have a vigorous on, so I choose not to use booster because you want that extra heal. Again, you're running solo. So I tried out using booster for the extra toughness, but the healing wasn't there, so it just went right through. So overdose is what you want to use on that, and I use an immunizer for that extra heal and the immunization from fire and status effects. When you get to the end of certain global events, which you'll see in the solo global event that I did, you'll change it to a fire turret for the crowd control, and that's, you know, use your discretion between using extra heals or crowd control. You do want to keep the enemies far away when you're doing PvE global events because of the contamination factor. My talents, I'm solo, so I am using precision. I was using wildfire because I was using a turret, but I'll put one is none on there instead if I'm not using my fire turret for crowd control. If I use my fire turret for crowd control, you're going to switch one is none for wildfire. Then you have critical save for your extra damage resistance, because you're going to be popping med kits because you're in the contamination from the global event. And then strike back for reaching low health to reduce active skill cooldown 20%. You can swap that for on the move. Depends on you and what you personally want. If I was running with a team, obviously they'd have a pulse, or I would put on a pulse because they'll have a heal. So I could take off precision and put on combat medic, and take off one is none for triage, or keep one is none. Again, complete discretion to what you guys would like. So guys, that is the build. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. I will help you out with any builds that you want. Again, hope to see you on my stream. Stay around for a PvE clip of me using this with a team and some solo shots. And then at the end of the clip, or at the end of the video, there's a link to my solo global event challenging mission that you can see me. It's a speed run, so you'll just speed right through the video so you can see me using this build for solo to get those global event credits, to get those global event contaminated caches, to hopefully get your classified gear when 1.7 comes out. So guys, this is my 3 Sentry, 2 Hunter's Faith Ninja Bike 1.7 PvE build. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stick around for the clips, and if you have any questions, leave them below. Thanks guys, and have a great rest of your day. All of them are one shot. I'm way past believing. Show me that you feel it.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, so it's coming up now.
Not a condition.
It's not a good drop in the EVGA or condition. It used to drop. I'm one-shotting all these bitches.